And we're live. You better
Yay.
need music so we don't get a copyright flag. Okay, let me tweet this out real quick. Tweet, post in the Discord, all the things. I don't know if anyone's here yet. Why is it not showing up on my thing?
No,
Oh, here we go.
that's not going to do any good. Yeah, it always does.
This is the way I light up every night whenever I'm sitting on my computer. Actually gives pretty good light. I'm just trying to see if it'll actually help you at all. See if it'll give off more light than that.
Well, wave hi to the people who are watching.
Hey, we've got 3 people.
Yay!
All right, give a couple more minutes so I can get this out real quick. First thing I see on Twitter is "Where's Waldo?" Except make it "Where's Bernie?"
People have been having a field day with the Bernie Sanders memes.
I like the Big Bang Theory one. He's in my spot.
I love that one.
I've always had a soft spot for. I like Big Bang Theory, so
Me too.
I sing "Soft Kitty" to Anna every night. Hey, Christina's here.
Hello.
Oh, excuse me. No, I don't want to turn the ringtone back up. I want the volume. There we go. I want to be able to hear my music when I turn it back on. Stupid phone. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Okay. Hello to everybody who is watching. I'm Carrie. This is my channel. I am a hopefully to be published one day fantasy author. I have my vlog series called Misadventures of a Mom Author, and I'm doing monthly now. So the next one should be coming out end of January, early February. And today I have a special guest with me. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm TM Sparrow, writer and homeschooling mom. I am currently in the editing phase for my debut novel. That was my husband coming in the door.
Hello.
We have one beautiful child, and yeah, that's it. I have a YouTube channel. I post videos. Well, I'm on a hiatus this month, and when I come back in February, I will be posting videos every other Wednesday.
Mm.
So.
Cool.
Yes. We're doing the dance mom thing again, so that kind of dance mom, homeschool, editing a book, running a YouTube channel eats into the time. And we're going to be auditioning for competition, I think, so
Oh,
it's going to be even more.
Oh, I think I'm going to be signing Anna up for theater when she's older.
Oh, that's fun too.
Because she has inherited my dramatics, and it's so much fun. We're at therapy. She goes to physical therapy once a week because she has some motor delays being a preemie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be an hour-long session. She usually makes it about 45 minutes on a good day. I mean, she's 20 months old. That's a lot for her to do. And she actually, when she was getting to the point where she was being done, she actually put her hand to her head and just flailed back. Oh, you're going to be a soap star, aren't you?
I love it.
Or in one of those historical dramas with the fainting damsel.
Scarlett O'Hara. Oh my goodness. That sounds like my niece. Today's her birthday. She's 6, and she is a little drama queen. She's a diva.
I want to be a princess.
Yep. I'm a princess because my daddy says so. Yep. Delightful.
Anna's got her daddy, both her grandpas, her uncles, like everybody wrapped around that little finger.
Mm-hmm.
Fun. A lot of work, but fun.
Yeah. They say it's worth it, though. That's what I hear. Jury's still out for me, but you know.
How old is Ava?
She just turned 9 last week.
Okay. One of my nephews is going to be 9 in March. That's fun.
That's that delightful age where we become a preteen, as she was so happy to point out to me. So, and 9 years old, and we're already dealing with, preteen hormones. Delightful. It's great. It's fine. Everything is fine. This is fine. We got this.
My best friend has 4. I call her the super mom.
Oh, man.
Because her girls are 14 and 2, and her boys are 12 and 9.
Wow.
Well, almost 9, but yeah.
Nice and
I remember texting her in a drug-induced stupor after the numbing and the shaking stopped after I had my C-section. Mm-hmm. And the pain started to kick in.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, how did you do this 4 times?
No, I had a C-section.
How are you alive?
And I remember thinking I was doing so good, hey, I'm walking fine. This doesn't hurt that bad. And then the nurse came in and said, the anesthesiologist is going to come in and talk to you about when the epidural wears off. And I was like, it hasn't worn off yet. She crushed my dreams.
Well, I had to be on magnesium for 24 hours, so that had me
Ooh.
like loopy and not really
Oh,
giving
yeah.
two shits. So once that started to wear off, and it's like, ow, nobody make me laugh, nobody make me cough.
Yeah. I had to sleep on the couch because I couldn't get out of the bed, so I had to sleep on the couch.
Mm,
So C-sections are not fun.
mm-mm. That whole not being able to drive thing,
Mm-hmm.
thought it was gonna. And well, we had a NICU stay, and I had to drive back and forth to the hospital every day.
Oh,
So
yeah.
those couple of weeks, either my dad or my mom or my husband would take me to the hospital every day, and I'd spend the morning or into the afternoon with Anna. And I remember my dad driving me the one day, probably like a week after, and we were talking about everything I had gone through, and he's like, "You better think long and hard before you consider getting pregnant again." I'm like, I'm 35. This is probably not going to happen. Again, I'm in the geriatric pregnancy category.
Oh, wow. Well, that makes you feel nice and young.
Right.
Why do you have
I
to
don't
call
think
it
it's going to
that?
happen. And I talked about some of the options we were considering, and one of them being, varying birth control types or even just getting my tubes tied. And he's like, or you could just tell Joe GTFA. And at first I didn't process what that meant. And then I started laughing. And I'm like, stop, you're making my incision hurt.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was when I was younger, I was crazy enough to think I wanted to get 5 kids.
No more than 2 was what we wanted.
Yeah.
We each have a sibling. We know how much we drove our parents crazy.
Well, I
It's
had
one
2
per kid to
sisters,
pull
so
apart when they're fighting like cats.
I don't know why I thought 5 would be a good number. Because there were 3 of us. And my sister has 2 kids, and so I see them together, and I'm like, especially when they're here with my daughter too, and we have all 3 of them, and I'm like, 1 is good. One is a nice number.
Yeah. I thought 2 because it's one parent per kid when they're fighting like cats. And you can pull them apart. My friends' boys, when they were little, would like bear wrestle, and they'd be giggling the whole way until somebody would like knock heads and the tears would start. It's like, all right, now you need to calm down. You didn't mean to. You did it on purpose. No, you didn't. Oh, and balancing all that with writing books. Fun.
Yeah. But this book I've been working on since Ava was a baby, since she was a newborn.
Mm.
So
Well, I've been working on this series since probably like 2014-ish. So a good long time.
yeah.
But I had one of those light bulb moments while I was feeding Anna that involved a full rewrite. I'm like,
I
oh,
love
maybe that's in there.
those. So
Back to
fun.
the beginning. That's the advantages of not being published yet. You can
Yes.
do that, change those things.
Yes.
I'm probably not going to publish until she's in school more. So.
Yeah, I decided to homeschool, so I don't get that whole, I can write while she's in school. No, I have to teach her. So it's worth it though, because I do enjoy it. I really do.
Yeah.
And seeing that moment when things click for her, it's really great.
Yeah. I mean, we still have some time, although somebody did point out that preschool's not far off.
Preschool was easy and fun. I miss preschool.
I said something about, thinking about it down the line, and my friend's husband was like, that's like, she's like halfway there. What do you mean? Well, preschool starts at like 3, and she's a year and a half. I go, I'm like, so the fall after her birthday, she'd be starting school. I go, oh my God. Oh my God. That's really not far away at all. Oh boy.
Preschool was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was like learning the alphabet and counting and arts and crafts.
She's doing that with her 2-year-old right now.
Now we're, oh my God, she's going to be in 4th grade soon. Oh, no. That's fine.
My best friend's oldest was texting me the one day, and she was like, when I'm in the high school next year, I went, what? Auntie Carrie, I want to be in high school. I'm in 8th grade now. What?
That's okay. When I was in high school, I think my senior year, I actually taught children's church at the church I was in the time. And those kids that I taught are in college now. They're graduating high school and going into college.
Mm-hmm.
I am not okay with this.
Yep. When I was in high school, I taught Sunday school because I went to a Catholic school, and we had to get service hours as a graduation requirement. So I taught, I did a couple years with preschool, kindergarten, and then I did 1st and 2nd grade. All those kids are probably, God, in their late 20s by now. And then how Joe and I got together was we got asked to teach 5th and 6th grade together. And the nun that was our education director was talking to my dad about it to see if we would make a good team. And he's like, I don't see why not. And she goes, good, I'm going to set it up. And I guarantee you those two are going to get married. We found out that story on our wedding day. We got set up by a nun.
How many people can say that, though?
I know.
I met that one at a live action role playing game.
Cool.
Yep. It's actually where the characters in this novel got their start. It's from that game. So that's fun.
I did online role play,
Yeah, some of them are older.
Maybe not like D&D with the stats and all that, but just you're in a chat in AOL Instant Messenger to date myself a bit. And then you're just a character, you're just writing as that character. And then we moved to the Yahoo groups.
Mm-hmm.
And then had the forums.
Yeah. I was in some role-playing Yahoo groups myself.
Mm-hmm.
That was back when I was in high school, and yeah. And Star Wars and Lord of the Rings.
My best friend was very into the Yu-Gi-Oh role playing and fanfic world, and her kids just discovered Yu-Gi-Oh. So they were watching the early seasons, and she had to like separate the head canon from her fan.
Oh,
Like, oh, this is no,
fanfiction.
that character doesn't exist except in my brain.
Yeah, I did the fan fiction too, but mine was mostly Phantom of the Opera.
I wrote a Power Rangers fanfic when I was still coming up with some of the ideas for my story, for my series, because I was using my series main character. I printed it off in green ink and I gave it to Jason David Frank.
Oh my god.
And I went back and read it one day. I went, this is shit. What was I thinking? It's so bad. I saw typos in it and everything.
That's great. I love that.
I've since changed my last name since then, so like the concept of the story is good, but I needed to polish it a bit. It was the first time we went to Comic-Con.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm. There's one here in well, there's two normally. There would be two Wizard World cons in Ohio. There would be one in Columbus and one near me in Cleveland. So we've gone to the Columbus ones a couple times, and then the Cleveland one. And the Cleveland one, I got to meet Karen Gillan and Matt Smith.
That's awesome.
Karen Gillan is even more gorgeous in person.
Oh, I can imagine.
And
Yeah,
I got
we have.
an action figure signed by Elijah Dushku. I had a Faith action figure that I got the package signed.
That's awesome.
She's actually very short. Compared, well, a lot of people are, I'm 6 foot, so
Wow.
several people are.
I'm 5 feet. 5 foot even.
I think Eliza's like 5'4" or something. So she's fairly petite. I mean, in comparison.
We have a small con that's very local to us. It's like 20 minutes from here. But we're like 2 hours from Atlanta. So we've got like Dragon Con and Anime Weekend Atlanta. Those are close, but I've never been. I have issues with crowds, so.
There's an anime convention at a water park where my best friend lives, and it usually coincides along with like overlaps with Bike Week. She's like, it's real fun to go grocery shopping because you see cosplayers in one aisle and bikers in another.
Oh, I bet.
All right, we're about 20 minutes in. You want to do some writing?
Sure.
Okay, I have a couple timers picked out, so. This one's being weird. Okay. I have too many tabs open. It was snowing here recently, so thought the snow one was pretty.
We don't get much snow.
It's okay. Till people forget how to drive. Okay. We'll get the banner up so people won't be like, what are you doing? All right. We're going to do some writing for 20 minutes. You don't have to write if you don't want to. You can draw, you can clean, you can, I don't know, whatever work you want to do, or you can take a nap or play video games. That's cool. Um, but we will come back in 20 minutes and do some more chatting.
Yay.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, go. And we're back.
You
Okay.
scared me. That happens every
Sorry.
time.
My one friend, I knew this girl in junior high, and she does writing on. She streams a writing group on Twitch, and she actually does like more extended time, but she has a horn that plays.
I would jump every time.
It's actually like a very gentle sounding horn, but yeah, the Alpenhorn of summoning, she calls it. Okay. Well, I got some journaling done. That's a good way to start up the brain.
Yep. I got some words in my chapter, so let me take those off right now. They reflect the screen so much.
Yeah, I turned off my big lamp, but I had to keep the fan on because it gets very stuffy with the door closed in here.
Mm-hmm.
But with the lamp over there and the candle over here, it's not that dark. I've got my I had the T-shirt, the Rebel Author T-shirt, but
Yeah.
it got SpaghettiO stains all over it.
Oh
from,
no!
you know, she wouldn't. It felt so bad. I gave her a spoonful of SpaghettiOs and it was still too hot. And she just
Oh
started
no!
sobbing and she wouldn't
Oh
sit in her high chair
no!
anymore. So I had to feed her on my lap. She was like, she had her face in my arm, and I'm like, even on black, you can see pasta sauce just all over.
Yeah, pasta sauce is bad for that.
Yeah. One consolation is I wasn't wearing the writing books and kicking ass shirt, which is white.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good at least.
Yeah, I gotta catch up on this week's episode for Rebel Author. So
Yeah, I
I
gotta catch
really
up on
enjoy
the
her
podcast
group
in
though.
general. I love her group. Her group's one of the best writing groups on Facebook.
I like doing the like chiming in with the accountability.
Oh yeah.
I don't like put as much stuff as I did. Like I would do the whole like personal and writing goals, and every week it would be like fucking laundry.
Laundry never ends.
Mm-mm.
No, that reminds me, I have some waiting to be folded.
I gotta fold some, hang some. The problem is I had a car accident. It was a week after we brought Anna home, so that's so much fun. So I fell out of doing my exercises. So now I got to get back into doing that because my back will just seize up and I can't do anything. So a lot of times Joe has to help me with laundry and stuff like that. I think he's putting her to bed now. Well, they're doing a story right now.
My daughter and my niece are watching a movie with my parents.
What are they watching?
I have no idea.
What does she like to watch?
What? Big Hero 6? Oh, apparently they're watching Big Hero 6. It's a very good one. Ava loves superheroes, and Michaela's into princesses. So they are
I mean, you could
very different.
Anna likes any and all things Minions.
Oh, yes.
Any of the Despicable Me movies, if they're on TV, she is just like,
Minions are great for that age.
mm-hmm.
Jack, bright
Anything with
colors.
music, though, like she really enjoys.
Oh, yeah.
We were watching Princess and the Frog the other night,
Mm-hmm.
and then and she has a. I've been getting her every year so far. Every fall, I would get her a doll from the princess store, from the Disney store. So her first year, I got her Anna,
Of course.
and she was shorter than this doll when I bought it because she was just that tiny at 4 months old. So that would be her comparison when I did her like monthly pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, I decided to get Tiana.
I like Tiana.
Mm-hmm. So when we were watching Princess and the Frog, I gave it to her, and she's holding it.
That age is a fun age.
Mm-hmm.
I like that age.
Everything is still new, kind of.
Mm-hmm. And watching their personality develop. I love it.
Oh, she had a personality from day one.
Oh, yeah.
But now it's being able to communicate more. It's really starting to show. And that personality is stubborn drama queen. So, of course, my parents are like, who does that sound like?
I feel like all toddlers are stubborn. Like everyone that I've ever met, they've been very stubborn.
But I know I have a stubborn streak.
Oh, yeah.
Really bad.
Some of them grow out of it and others don't.
I'm a Taurus Gemini cusp, and she is hardcore Taurus. So
I am an Aries Taurus cusp, so.
yeah. I was born 4 minutes before midnight on the 20th of May. So you can't get more cusp than that.
You really can't.
Actually, her birthday was supposed to be the day I was due.
Oh, wow.
I was 2 weeks late. I was also 10 pounds. My poor mom.
Oh, wow. Ava was due on Friday the 13th. But she didn't quite make it. She ended up waiting until the 14th. So. But it would have been cool if she'd been born on Friday the 13th because we got married on Halloween. So it just really would have fit the aesthetic that we had going.
Well, I was in, I had real bad preeclampsia. So I was actually hospitalized. And they were trying to get me as far along as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I was anticipating being there for like a month. And on the 4th, a bunch of friends had come to visit, and of course, being May 4th, there was nothing but Star Wars on TV.
Right.
So we were watching that, and my husband was like, "Hey, wouldn't it be funny if she was or no, after the fact, I think." He was like, "Oh, she missed being a Star Wars baby by like 6 hours." And then somebody pointed out it's not as popular, but there is a Revenge of the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not as popular as May the 4th, so.
Yeah.
I had all these plans to do a Star Wars birthday party for her, and now she likes unicorns. So I think when we can have a party again, it's going to be unicorns.
Oh yeah. My daughter and my niece love unicorns. But Pokemon is a big thing for my daughter. So next year for her 10th birthday, since that's the age that in universe the kids start their Pokemon adventure when they turn 10. So we might do a Pokemon birthday party for her next year. We don't really usually do parties though. I'm not a big party person. And usually we take her out for to do something special.
10's a milestone though. It's double digits.
I know. She's been saying, I can't believe this is my last year in the single digits. Ava, don't remind me.
I know. I said that one time about my best friend's oldest. And at the time, she only had like the 3. And she's like, "Stop it! She's my first baby and only little girl." And then, surprise! Ava came along.
Yeah, I cried when Ava turned 5. She's like, we're not a toddler anymore. We're a big kid now, and I can't deal with it. So I might cry next year too. I don't know. I'm a mess. She's my only baby, so.
And then teenage years.
I'm trying not to think about that. What? What does that mean? Oh. And my husband was reminding me that I'm the hot mess mom.
Aren't we all to some degree? I mean,
yeah, I am definitely that mom that if we were in public school, I'd be in the car line in my pajamas to pick her up. Mom, you're so embarrassing.
I don't think I'd go that far. I like my. I'm dreading the day she outgrows naps. There goes my afternoon me time. That's why I have the evenings.
That's when you introduce quiet time. That's what we did. Quiet time was a godsend because Ava stopped napping at 2.
My sister had to do that with her son, would do for quiet time, but that was also when her second one came along. So all moms are hot messes. Yes. Yes, we are.
This is true. And hi, Monica. That's my best friend.
Oh, hello. I like the bubble look on the names and stuff. I saw a couple other people doing it on their streams. I'm like, I need to change that.
Yeah, it looks cool. Okay.
Change the colors and everything.
Oh, goodness.
I think we had a virtual watch party with my sister and my mom and one of my mom's best friends for the inauguration.
Oh, that's fun.
And my sister trying to watch President Biden's speech with an almost 1-year-old and a 2-year-old shrieking, and she's like, I can't wait to watch this in silence. I have to go back and look it up.
I made Ava watch it for school because, we had our first woman vice president. Like, I wanted to see this and witness this historic moment. And my parents asked her later what she thought of it, and she was like, it was kind of boring, especially for a 6-year-old who has to watch it for school. Okay, Ava, don't hold back. Tell us how you really feel. I was like, but did you understand why you had to watch it? Because it's important. But why is it important, Ava?
I think I shared something about, what was it? Oh, it was like pictures of all of the presidents, and certain ones were highlighted in different colors. And it was like, up until this time, she would have been still a slave, and up until this time she didn't have the right to vote, and up until this time she couldn't even have her own credit card.
Oh, that's cool.
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen that. I'll have to look for it.
I don't remember if I shared it or if I just liked it. I might have shared it, but she's in the hallway. She can hear me. My husband's trying to coax her.
But it's mommy.
I came in here about 7:15, and we have a gate in the living room, and I shut the gate, and they go, "Okay, mommy's going to work." She waved and blew me a kiss, like I was actually leaving. But she can still hear me.
So, as you can tell, I'm a really great conversationalist. It's a skill that I have.
So we could jump into another writing script. I got the puppies.
Yay, puppies! My sister just got a puppy, and I'm very jealous.
We don't have a
I
fence in the
know.
yard.
We don't either, but we have 3 dogs, which is why every time I talk about puppies, this one's back here going, no.
My husband's trying to kind of get used to other people's pets because he has allergies. And he was getting better before we weren't able to see people.
Yeah, it does make it more difficult.
Yeah.
We can't have cats because I'm
But he
allergic.
could almost be around. He was almost at the point where he could be at my friend's house for a number of hours, and they have 3 dogs and 2 cats.
Wow.
The cats mostly have free range. The dogs kind of stay downstairs, especially when they have company. But it's mostly the cats because I want a cat.
Yeah. I got, they called it allergic conjunctivitis. I thought I had pink eye. Turns out I was allergic to the cat. That was miserable.
Mm.
And I felt so bad that we couldn't keep the cat because she was such a sweet cat.
I'm like, we don't have to get a big floofy cat like I used to. I used to have this big black floof ball. I'm like, we can just get a short-haired house panther. Gotta be a black cat. I had a black cat for like 16 years. I'm slightly biased.
I love black cats.
And he's like, we were talking about what we would name it. I'm like, well, if we got a male cat, it would be either Salem or Binks.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what a female would be because my cat was a female and her name was Sabrina. I'm like, I don't think I could have another Sabrina. My Sabrina was my baby.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd have to come up with a creative name for black cats. And I know the shelters and stuff. My sister used to work for the Cleveland APL. They will not adopt out black cats, and I don't think cats in general around Halloween because there were stories of people doing horrible things. And I'm like, oh, people suck.
They do. I don't
And that
blame them for being
stigma about black
cautious.
cats being bad. It's like, no, they're love babies.
I love black cats.
They pick and latch they latch onto their person.
Mm-hmm.
And
I can't do hairless cats. They might be hypoallergenic, but they're weird looking.
they're not completely they're just very small. They just have very little hair. They're not really completely hairless. But
And they're weird looking.
They're weird looking. They are. It's like having a four-legged Gollum from Lord of the Rings,
yeah.
except with Dobby ears.
And so if I ever do get a hairless cat, now it's going to be named Dobby. So there we go. But I guess if it's a girl cat, I can name it Winky. I think that was her
There you
name.
go. Yeah, they look like four-legged house elves.
This is my house elf. That's a cat. No, that's a house elf. Don't argue with me. That's what I say it is. Yes, don't give it close. No socks.
No butterbeer either. Poor Winky.
Yeah, definitely no butterbeer either.
That had to be one of the saddest characters. She got freed, refused to as much as people tried to help her, and she just the couple of times that I've reread those books, I'm like noticing all of the, oh my god, that's horrible.
Yeah, Harry Potter as an adult is a different experience. Especially now that JK has kind of sabotaged her own career.
Yeah.
Well, not even kind of. Like, completely.
I'm like conflicted about continuing to collect the illustrated books because they're gorgeous and I want to support that artist.
Right.
But I don't want her to get any more money.
Right.
Mm-hmm. When they're mad and hissing their Gollum, and then
as I learned from watching Hollywood show videos, they're
it was great.
Yeah, one of their Lord of the Rings ones, and they had the Chihuahua as Gollum. I love that.
I didn't see that one. I love my favorite is their Doctor Who one.
Yes.
The Time Warp.
Yes, I love that one. But I think my favorite is the supernatural one of Shake It Off. I love that one.
Their Hocus Pocus one is good too.
It is. What'd you say, love? Oh yeah, the Shots one is good too. With the Hobbit. That one's pretty good. But I can never listen to the actual Shake It Off song without starting to sing the Hollywood version. So
yeah, I can't hear Time Warp without going wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
It was funny. I saw that video before I actually got to David Tennant's season. So then I got to that and I was like, oh! And they actually did a really good job with the David Tennant impersonation. Yeah, there are some very not okay situations.
I've been what is that channel that I recently discovered Well, let me go back to my subscriptions list. Cinema Therapy. There's a filmmaker and a therapist analyzing movies.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that
And their
out.
most recent ones, they just did 2 about New Moon. They're going through the Twilight films.
Oh, that I have to watch.
And they are picking out how really bad those relationships are.
So bad.
So bad.
And Twilight will forever be linked with the worst date I ever went on.
Oh no.
Because we went to see the Twilight movie. So, because I had been a fan of the books up until a point, and I was young, it happens. But
yeah, I jumped on the bandwagon for a while.
My sister was going on a date with this guy, and his cousin was coming, so they needed someone to make it a double date. So she asked me, and I was like, okay, I get to go see Twilight for free. Sure. And we get to the movie, and the guy is all messed up because he took pain pills with alcohol. And then the movie was terrible. And I was like, this is nothing like the book. And he goes, this was a book? And I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to work. Apparently he didn't like me either, so it was fine.
Well, everybody where I used to work was reading them. So yeah, I jumped on the fan wagon and I read them. Actually, I bought the first one myself, and then my boyfriend at the time bought me the rest of the series. And so I went through all of them. I did see all the movies. But then as time went on, I'm like,
I've seen the first 2 movies. I didn't watch any of the ones after that.
I had a friend that was like deep in, and she was like, will you go to the midnight showing of Breaking Dawn Part 2 with me? I'm like, sure, fine.
It's one of the 2 midnight book releases that I went to. The one was for Breaking Dawn, and the other one was for The Cursed Child. So I never get to go for good books. So the bad ones.
Never gone for midnight book releases. I've seen a couple midnight movies.
We have been to some midnight movies too. It was fun. We went to the midnight movie release for the first Hobbit movie, and somebody was there as Gandalf, but in pink instead of gray. It was awesome. And I went with one best friend. We went to see The Dark Knight, the second one, with the Joker. And she did like this Joker makeup for me. And it was awesome.
I think the first movie was already out when I started reading the Hunger Games books. But for Catching Fire and Mockingjay 1 and 2, my sister and her best friend and I all went to the midnight showings of those. Or when they started to do them like 10 o'clock the night before.
Yep. I didn't see all of those movies, but I did read all of those books. They were actually pretty good.
And I remember going to see The Great Gatsby with them too, because we stood in the parking lot afterwards for a while talking about how Leonardo DiCaprio always ends up in movies where he dies.
I thought that was Sean Bean's job.
And I'm like, yeah, Titanic, Romeo and Juliet. And then as soon as I mentioned Romeo and Juliet, my sister went on a tirade about how Romeo and Juliet is horrible. It is not romance. It is just about a couple of stupid teenagers giving in to their lust.
What's the point? It's
I'm
not
like, well,
supposed
you're
to
not
be a
wrong.
romance. It's a tragedy. Everybody wants it to be a romance, but it's a tragedy.
Right. They don't pay attention to the tragedy part. And I remember reading that play in ninth grade, and nobody understood. The only way I understood kind of what was going on was we went and saw a college production of it with my ninth grade English class.
We actually performed it. And we had different Juliets each act and different Romeos and stuff. And I remember being upset because I got to be Juliet, but I got to be Juliet in the only act that Romeo and Juliet did not have a scene together.
Mm.
But we redid it, we reset it into the 1920s. So, if I remember it right, Juliet was the daughter of a family that ran a speakeasy, and Romeo was a police officer's son.
Oh.
So it was a lot of fun.
And then there was the Baz Luhrmann version that is like in 1990s California.
Oh yeah, that one's wild. My husband loves that version.
Yeah, I watched that one time with some friends, and we just sat there giggling. Because they're using the authentic, words.
Yeah, the
But it's
actual lines,
like 1994 California.
we rewrote all the lines when we did it in the 9th grade, but
Nice.
I remember we all gave like suggestions for the way that we could set it, and my 9th grade self's brilliant idea was, oh, we can do it about a goth girl and a football player.
That would be interesting, though. You could probably swap all kinds of like different social dynamics with it. And not have the leading lady be like 13. Ugh.
Yeah. In the 10th grade, we did like a whole bunch of different scenes from different Shakespeare plays. It's like we did the witches from Macbeth, but it was 3 guys. Somebody did the friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears speech. And it was not prosthetic ears because we didn't have them. We had like tan and brown paper that we all threw at him from off stage pretending they were ears.
Was there a Men in Tights reference with the ears?
Yep.
That's disgusting.
I wanted to be in the scene from Othello, and I wanted to be Desdemona, but apparently my Desdemona was too angry, so I got to do the speech from which one was that? I think it was The Merchant of Venice. You know, the "Do we not bleed" and all that, whatever. I don't really remember it well.
I was watching CB's stream last night with Sam, and she was talking about being in German class and almost picking the name Brunhilde. I'm like, oh, wasn't that Maid Marian's Lady in Waiting?
Yes. Men in Tights.
The first line that popped in my head was "No ding ding without the wedding ring."
If you go through it, then I blew it.
We're going to have to remodel the castle to make room for all the babies.
I love that
If
movie.
anybody's watching this in the future, if you haven't seen Men in Tights, go watch it. It's great.
It's
It's
amazing.
probably my favorite Robin Hood.
It's
a
definitely
spoof.
my favorite Robin Hood. Because unlike other Robin Hoods, I can speak with a British accent.
I never knew that reference until I saw the Kevin Costner one. I'm like, wait, is that right? Makes sense now.
What, love? Yes, the whole Men in Tights song and dance number is awesome. we're men in tights. Tights. Oh, great. Now it's stuck in my head. No.
Gotta go watch the movie now. I've wanted to watch. I don't know. It came up in conversation over dinner one night, and I'm like, yeah, I want to watch it now.
I wonder if it's
And
still
Drew's like, we have it on DVD. I'm like, I know.
on.
We both had a copy at one point. I think I sold mine because I didn't see the point of having two.
Yeah. Oh man.
But I have Mel Brooks' other movies. I have History of the World. I have Spaceballs, Young Frankenstein.
I love Young Frankenstein.
Did you see the music adaptation, the musical?
No, I didn't know there was one. Now I have to
It
find
was
it.
like 10 years ago. I don't think it's running anymore.
Oh, no. I wonder if it's on YouTube.
I'm sure it is.
You
But
know,
I went to go see it. It's so good.
There's a whole bootleg musical community on YouTube.
I'm sure.
And it's been really useful for people who can't, go see things on Broadway.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was so happy when somebody loaned me their Disney Plus login so I could watch Hamilton.
Yes. I love Hamilton. My sister got mad because she watched it. She does like in-home therapy, and so she had started watching it at one of her clients' houses with them because she does it for kids, I think. And so then she finished watching it at home, and she got so mad because she was like, "Nobody told me that the second act was going to make me cry."
Well, I had listened to the soundtrack, so I was somewhat prepared. I still.
Oh, I know, because there's stuff that's not on the soundtrack, like when Eliza screams. That oh. My daughter wants to watch it. We started watching it. We haven't finished it yet. We should work on that because it's something I can actually count as school. American history.
Yeah, my best friend said that they actually started like reading up, excuse me, on the actual facts.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been fun for like the kids to get into. And and then her oldest is still going through a major musical soundtrack phase, and she's the one that introduced me to Six because she's like, my mom told me that you were like into Henry VIII stuff, and I'm like, I guess.
I love Six. Obsessed.
Really funny when the weather's nice enough to have the windows down and you're blasting House of Holbein.
Yes.
The top of the volume. And people are looking at you from other cars like, what the is she listening to?
And Mean Girls the musical. I love Mean Girls the musical. Well, of course, you basically have the soundtrack memorized because I listen to it all the time.
Yeah, look up. Definitely look up Young Frankenstein. It's really good.
Yeah.
A lot of tributes to the movie. And the actor that played Frederick.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good tribute to Gene Wilder. It's
Yeah.
like obviously he sounds a little different, but just the way he captures that personality.
Mm-hmm.
And then Igor is hilarious. The Putting on the Ritz song is extended to this like whole big tap dancing number.
That's awesome.
But it was funny because my dad and I have seen that movie countless times. We'd watch it all the time. I have it on DVD. And we went with my mom and my aunts and uncles. And mom has seen it, through us, but my aunts and uncles weren't really overly familiar with the movie. So they didn't get some of the humor.
Yeah.
And my dad and I are sitting there snickering and they're like, what? And I think they actually sold one of the merch things they sold. I think it was a key ring that made the horse sound.
I love it.
Frau Blucher!
That's another one I need to watch again. I haven't seen that in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, and Dracula Dead and Loving It is the other one I have.
I haven't seen that, so now I'm gonna have to find that one so I can see it. Love Dracula.
I think there was talk about adapting Blazing Saddles into a musical.
Oh my gosh. That would be an interesting one to see as a musical.
It would be, but I don't think a lot of people would appreciate the humor.
No.
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 Like, I could sit there and laugh and still go, oh my God, this is horrible. But
Yeah, that might not go over very well today.
no. But now Mel Brooks is just doing Grandpa Dracula voice. I
Wonder how many more of those movies they're gonna make. If it's gonna end up like The Land Before Time.
Oh my God. That went on so long.
Forever. I think there ended up being like 20 or more of them. I gotta Google that real quick.
I think we got to because my grandmother kept buying them for us, and it got to number 10 or something before we had to gently break it to her that, Grandma, this is ridiculous and we're getting kind of old for these movies. And they weren't as good as the first one.
I just want you to tell me how many there are. That's all I want to know. How many are there?
Now I want to know how old Mel Brooks is. How old is Mel Brooks? 94.
Oh, wow.
June 28th, 1926.
Wow. There are 14 Land Before Time movies. And no, let's see that. Yeah, okay. And there's supposed to be a 15th one coming out. And there was a TV show.
Horace Leachman is still alive? She's 94.
Wow.
Maybe I'm confusing her with someone else that I thought had passed away.
I mean, Betty White is 98.
99.
99.
She just turned 99 on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, now I got all these people that pulled up on my in my search. Dick Van Dyke is 95. I watched
I
the
love Dick Van
Mary
Dyke.
Poppins Returns, and he made his cameo in that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cute movie.
What was? There was some kind of Disney special that was on TV not that long ago, and they had Derek Huff was doing Step in Time, and they
Yeah, one of
actually
those
had Dick Van
sing-alongs.
Dyke come on.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was so
so
good.
cool.
I kind of was not a fan really of Tyra being the host, but I still kind of enjoyed Dancing with the Stars this year.
I haven't really watched it. Just, I don't know. I liked it the first few seasons, and then I guess I just kind of got tired of it.
I think I intentionally didn't watch the athletes one because they had Tanya Harding on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were a few people. I mean, there's always a few people that you're like, who this? But sometimes the people you learn to like.
I liked the one where they had the kids on it. Maybe like the Dancing with the Stars Junior. That was pretty cool.
I don't remember catching that one. I might not have been able to catch that one. I do remember. I think I was just starting to stay here more often when Joe and I were together, and I was watching the season where Bindi Irwin was on.
Oh, I love that one.
She did this gorgeous tribute to her dad.
I cried.
Sobbing.
I cried.
Just, I'm like clutching a tissue when Joe comes in. He sees me crying, and he'd never really seen me cry before. And he's like, "What's the matter? I want you dancing with the sergeant." And he's like, "Okay, this is some kind of girl thing. I'm gonna go in the other room and watch." Shut up, you jerk! Go.
Do you know that Bindi is having a baby?
I saw. She looked. She's
I
so
know.
pathetic.
I think she's having a girl.
It's gonna be a big girl.
I love that her husband and the way she met her husband is like almost identical to the way that Steve and Terry met. It's really cute.
What? He was a visitor at the zoo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Oh, and then they recreated that picture.
Yes, I saw that. It was so sweet.
That family is just so wholesome. I love it.
They are. My daughter loves them. They have that show on.
I've been wanting to catch that.
Oh yeah, my daughter loves that show. She loves that one, and she loves the one about the Georgia Aquarium.
Mm.
So I'm like, yes, child, watch, learn.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. We do live close enough to the Georgia Aquarium to visit it. It was one of the things we talked about doing last year, and then COVID.
Yes. Yeah, that's why I'm hoping that things at least settle a bit. I have to spend another summer at home. I'm gonna have a breakdown. It would be my third summer in a row. Not
We
being
had big plans last year. Um, she wanted to go to Washington D.C. We were going to take her because she wanted to go to the Smithsonian Museum to see the
oh,
coelacanth fossils, and then we didn't get to do that. We were going to go to Florida and visit family and go to Disney World. Didn't get to do that. So,
yeah.
really hoping this year's better.
I just want to take her to the Cleveland Zoo. Like I want to do stuff like that.
Right. I want to take Ava to the Atlanta Zoo because I found out that they have armadillos. I haven't told her yet. Armadillos are her favorite animals. My daughter is so weird that armadillos are her favorite.
One place we want to take our road trip. We want to go down to Cincinnati, which is about 4 hours from us here in Cleveland. But they have a really nice, really big zoo.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband also went to University of Cincinnati, so he wants to show me the school.
Mm-hmm.
Wants to show the community college dropout what a real college looks like. He also wants to introduce me to his one of his English professors that helped him out. Because he had a speech delay, and he struggled with writing papers and stuff all through school. And it wasn't until he got to college, and one of his one professor was like, I see what your problem is. Your brain kind of moves a little too fast for your hands to keep up when you're writing things. So you mix up your words. You're very redundant when you know. So she helps him kind of like slow down, and so when he has to write an email or something, he comes to me, he prints it out and he comes to me and like, can you edit this? So I go all, probably could have been a teacher. I go all red pen. Like, cross this out, reword this. If it's complaining about something, it's like, no, you can't tell them to go themselves. You can't start an email with listen, son. Or look here, asshole. No.
We still have to be professional.
He's never actually done that. He's wanted to. But he's never actually done that. But I do have to like edit and like clarify things, and I think I end up like at least cutting it down by a third sometimes. But he wants, because that teacher helped him so much, and then he went on and married a writer. And then of course taking Anna to the zoo, and I have a cousin who lives down there, and so we probably make a long weekend of it.
Yeah,
We'd
it's
have to at
always
least
nice.
make a couple days because of the drive.
Mhm. Yeah, 4 hours is quite a drive.
Mhm. And that's driving nonstop. We'd have to get out and walk around and
Yeah.
potty breaks.
Food.
Mhm. I just had to reach out to Anna's pediatrician because I couldn't quite remember what she said about flipping the car seat.
Mhm.
And I'm like, do you go by age or weight? Because I see like three different things about weight. Like the car seat itself says like 20 some pounds. The CDC, I think, says 40 pounds. And then you told me 2 years.
Mhm.
And she's getting so tall. She's a little string bean. So I'm noticing that her legs are like getting all cramped. Like I don't want her to be so uncomfortable that she doesn't like car rides anymore.
Mhm.
But I also want her to be safe. So like how do we
Right.
balance
It's important. Yeah, that's mom life. It's all about balance. But how? Ugh.
that? My Joe ended up stuffing her back in the infant seat because he had to run to his parents for something.
Oh no.
I had to take her with him. Stuffed her back in
Oh
the
no.
infant seat. And she's like 31 inches tall.
Oh no.
But I have the convertible seat in my car, and that thing's a pain in the butt. I'm not taking it out.
Oh yeah.
So my mother-in-law said next time she's at Once Upon a Child, she's gonna look for um I don't know if you have those down
We
where
do.
you
We do.
okay. Yeah, she's gonna look for another one for us to have
That's
in
good.
his car.
I'm just glad Ava's on the booster seat stage, and she's in the backless booster seat now, so she very easy to just switch it over. So glad we don't have to do car seats anymore.
Yeah. Well, my
Add
mom
that
had
to the
one in
list of
her car
things.
because she would watch my nephew,
Mhm.
and she hasn't been able to watch him because COVID.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm not using it. Here, save you some money. So I'm like, okay. Because I had said something about Anna's looking a little cramped in that seat. Plus, those infant seats are so heavy.
Oh yeah, they
They're
are.
so heavy.
And very awkward.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I was texting my cousin. She's due with her second child, and she's having a girl. And I'm like, "You want to go through Anna's whole clothes? We got a ton. I want it out of my house. What you don't want, I'm gonna probably sell.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'll keep some stuff, but
I gave a lot of Ava stuff to my sister when my niece was born.
mm,
And it was hard though, because at that point, I kind of still wanted a second. But now that Ava's 9, I'm like, I don't want to start over with a baby again. I get to sleep now. I don't want to
what's
give
that
that
like? What's that like?
up. That's nice. You'll get there one day.
Almost had a full week. Almost had a full week,
Oh,
and then for whatever reason, she got up at like 3 this morning.
oh
Would not go back to
no.
sleep.
Oh no.
tried to let her cry it out, and she actually spit up all over her bed.
Oh.
Actually, her Portiana doll got the brunt of it.
Ooh.
And those things can't be like wash. They have to be hand washed.
Mm. Yeah, if I remember right, Odin actually really liked sitting rear facing, even though he had to like
Cross
put
his
his
legs.
legs all whatever way.
I mean, you give her a sippy cup and one of her toys to cuddle with. She always travels with this little gray kitty cat or one of her princess dolls.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just happy as can be until you hear plop. That means she threw something. But I did learn you can't have those convertible seats if they're rear facing in the middle of the back seat. I had to move it to the passenger side, and it was a little bit easier to get to her if she needed something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like too high backed and awkward to try and like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I always hated driving by myself with Ava in the car as a baby because it was so hard if she needed anything. You know, you have to actually pull over and stop. But
Oh no.
yeah.
I kind of think that facing forward you could see more. So maybe she would enjoy that. So the other thing we want to do next winter is drive around and look at Christmas lights.
Oh yeah. But with forward facing, how much they can see kind of depends on the seat. Because I know my
Yeah.
nephew's 3, and like he has different car seats in different cars, and so like the one that's in my parents' car, because it kind of like leans back more, he can't really see much out the windows at all,
Mm-hmm.
which makes him mad when there's stuff to look at. I can't see.
Yeah, Anna was so tiny. She actually didn't come. We actually had to borrow a special kind of car seat that's like there was a car bed, they called it, because her oxygen level would drop in the regular car seat.
Oh
We
wow.
took the oxygen test 3 times in the NICU.
Wow.
It's like, but I want her to come home.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that was holding her back was her oxygen level dropping. So they gave us this bed thing, and then her home care nurse would occasionally do the car seat test until she
Mm-hmm.
actually passed it.
Oh, I bet that was a relief.
Yes, I took that thing back the very next appointment. Like, here you go. And that was the one thing I was thankful for when I had my car accident, that she was not in the car.
Yes.
Because getting hit from behind, that messed me up in a regular seat.
Mm-hmm.
But lying there like that, like I don't know how she would have flopped around or so. Also, somebody would have got beat.
Yeah.
Instead of coming to take the accident report, they would have been prying me off of somebody.
Mama bear mode activated.
people on the side of the road with their phones. Oh, this is gonna go viral.
That is the world we live
in. And then people Google me when I'm published and be like, so what was this about?
Hey, that lady that went viral for that fight wrote a book. Marketing.
Oh, but it's not a tell-all.
Disappointment. Yeah, it's really good that Odin wasn't with you on that wreck. That would have been bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to strap that. No, I think we gave the car seat bed back after I got my car back. Yeah, because my dad helped me. Like, they came over that day, and like my dad helped me call the insurance agency and everything. The guy hadn't even like contacted his insurance. We went and got a copy of the police report, so we had his information and his insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually went through his insurance company. And the guy, so while we're on the phone, I'm like, so I got hit by one of your policy holders? And they look it up and like, you don't have a claim from him.
Somebody thought they could get away with it.
He claims that his foot slipped off the pedal, but I have a sneaking suspicion that he was on his phone. I don't think you could prove that, but we were in busy traffic, not going that fast. You'd have to be pretty distracted. But I got my repairs paid for. That's what mattered.
What? Yeah, I know. I told them they could come in and say goodnight. Yes, Ava and Michaela are getting ready for bed now, so they'll probably be in here in a minute to say goodnight.
Aww. I like when she makes her little cameos at your.
She likes it too. She will find reasons to come in here.
When she's older.
She will find reasons to come in here when I'm filming and Mommy, I want to help you make some outtakes. But that's not how outtakes work.
They're not planned. They're not supposed to be planned.
It's funnier if they happen by accident. But kids.
I don't really get stuff for outtakes. I just have long awkward pauses.
Imagine a video of just
that. Upload the video. Why is it 30 minutes long? And then it's like at least 10 of it is long pauses and
So that's why I script mine. It helps.
Even if I script mine.
Oh,
the ums are so ingrained, and
if I don't put my phone like somewhere way far away from where I'm sitting while I'm recording, then I will end up with long pauses where I'm just like scrolling Facebook. Like, and then I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be filming. Oops.
Maybe that's why I'm just gonna stick to the vlogging. I do need to get a few more clips while there's time left in the month of not in this office. Just me talking and saying what's going on.
I have a lot of fun with my videos. I really love talking about story structure. They don't always get a lot of views, but I love it because I get to learn so much about different story structures that I didn't even know existed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Kisho Tenketsu. That one was fun.
I know Jenna always says that her business videos don't get are like the ones that get the least amount of traction, but I love them. I look so forward to when she does a business video.
Nobody else talks about that, and that's so important. Like, as a self-published author, you have to know the business side too, but nobody else talks about it.
Yeah. And that's why, like, her business videos, the Rebel Author podcast and her group, Next Level Authors, like those kind of podcasts and stuff. Actually, Next Level I actually prefer to watch on YouTube than listen to on iTunes, because was it a few weeks ago when Sasha had cut her finger and she had this massive band-aid.
Oh, no.
And Dan was doing the introduction that week, and he's like, "With me every week is," and she goes, "Penis fingers." Like, that one I actually listened to in the car, and I'm like, okay, I have to watch the video to see what she's talking about.
You know that conference thing that Sasha's going to be at this year? When is it? September?
I think I've heard her talking about it.
Yeah. I'm actually going. I'm very excited.
Yay!
Yes. What? Oh yeah, I'll have to look up the dates so that you can ask off for those.
Where is it going to be?
I think it's in Tennessee. See if I can remember. Okay, it's September 18th and 19th. Okay.
I listen to so many podcasts. I can't keep up with them.
It's
I have to binge them, and then
it's in Nashville, Tennessee.
Fun.
Yeah, I've never been to Nashville, so it'll be exciting.
Have I wanted to. I've always wanted to go to the country music festivals.
Oh yeah.
I was watching when we were watching everything on Wednesday, and Garth Brooks performed.
Oh yeah.
And my mom's friend was on the Google call with us, and she's like, "Damn, he still looks good." I'm like, yeah. And still sings really good.
I like the memes about how, he showed up in boots to a black tie affair.
I didn't even make that connection.
I didn't either until I saw the memes, and I was like, oh, that's funny.
But he didn't ruin it, though.
No, he did not. I always said for a long time that I wanted to write a Harry Potter musical fanfic, where like every chapter was like kind of characters with doing the song, and the only chapter that I knew for sure I wanted to have was Snape showing up at Lily and James's wedding. And doing the whole "I've got friends in low places."
So it would be Moulin Rouge style with no song, right?
Yeah, yeah. I never did write it, but I still really laugh at the image of Snape singing "Friends in Low Places."
There's a show on Netflix, the the movies that made us,
Mm-hmm.
and I really like the episode they did on Die Hard
Oh yeah.
because they talk about the fall of Alan Rickman's character,
Mm-hmm.
and he wanted to do that stunt,
Wow.
and so he's up there like 40 feet in the air, strapped to a harness, and the guys are like, "Okay, on 3, we're gonna let you go. 1, 2." They wanted his reaction to be real on the camera.
Oh wow. That would do it. That would do it.
It's like, so you see genuine fear as he's falling 40 feet onto a beanbag.
I'll have to watch
And
that.
then they showed an own interview of him, and he's like, and that was my last shot. That was my last thing that I had to do. So.
Here come the children. Yeah, but you can come in. I thought it was children. It's just one child. Where's Michaela? Hello. Good night. Come give me a hug. You can be on camera for a second. Hi, everybody. My name's Michaela.
Hi, I hear it's somebody's birthday.
Is it your birthday? Yeah. Yeah. Can you tell everybody how old you are now? I'm 6.
Wow.
Good night, Michaela. And your turn. Hello.
Hi.
She said hi. Okay. Oh, okay. She said she likes it when she likes the little cameos that you make in my videos. You can tell it. Well, I think you were kind of
Sometimes my
leaning on
daughter's
it.
in mine, but she's a lot littler than you are.
All right. Good night, Ava. Good night.
Good night.
See you in the morning.
See you in the morning.
Yep. See you in the morning too. I think that was Michaela's first time being on camera. She's so cute. They both.
Mask she had on her head.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Pink and
They're both obsessed with YouTube. They'll take their tablets around filming little videos pretending they're making YouTube videos. It's cute. Ava keeps saying she wants to make a YouTube channel, and I'm like, when you learn how to edit your own videos, then you can do it, because I'm not editing them for you. I do enough already.
Don't you have to be a certain age to like post, I think, or do they have a kids version?
There are some that do like videos with kids, so I think there are different rules though for videos with kids.
Obviously, there have to be.
So, yeah. I always have to mark mine like this is not made for kids. Especially when I do my werewolf stories. Not for kids. Most kids. Some kids are fine. Most kids.
Yeah. I don't like Those boxes are weird to click because it's like I'm not making like my audience isn't kids, but if somebody watches it, it's fine. Like I don't have anything graphic on. I swear, but
Yeah, but I don't know how they're gonna feel like kids watching my next video. It's about vampires, different kinds of vampires. And the last ones that I talk about are these flying heads, and they're pretty bizarre and gory and just really out there.
yeah, maybe have that one be.
Let's put a content warning.
Yeah,
There will be discussion of intestines.
yeah. And I will remember that when I get to the point with the story that does start to include the werewolves, we will have a talk. I
I'm
will pick your
always
brain.
happy to talk about werewolves.
That doesn't happen until book 4, and I'm still on 1.
I get excited about stuff in future books too. Like, so that's my thing because this is a series and I'm writing book 1, and I'm like, ah, but in this book, this really
I'm trying
awesome
to
thing is
outline
gonna
as much of it as
happen.
I can because um, then I know when I'm fleshing it out where to
Mhm.
go, and then I can easier set up a timeline for myself.
Right, and when you know what's coming, you can foreshadow it too and set things up better.
Yeah,
Like,
especially with you have the outline for like I don't think I would foreshadow that far along, but like in your like book 2 or 3, and you have the outline for like 10. I don't really know how long the series is going to be. I wish there were more long series. Personally, I'm kind of got my mind on writing a longer one.
hmm
Um,
yeah, Odin might love it. It does seem like something he would love. So, and it's not like I'm that graphic, and there aren't pictures or anything. But
mhm.
yeah, he'll love the one from India that it carries a skull cup, a skull that it uses to drink your blood. Keeps filling the cup with your blood and drinking it, and then when there's no more blood, it eats your brains. I learned about that one today. That was fun. I was like, I didn't know this was a
Or
thing.
maybe just say like, if you're squeamish, skip.
That's yeah, content warnings. They exist for a
Important.
reason.
Yeah. If you're squeamish, maybe give it a miss or skip to this timestamp.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to filming that one though. I had fun writing the script. So
I got into a debate one time with someone about werewolves, and I'm like, I don't know that much about werewolves and the lore. And I says because they brought up the Twilight
mm,
wolves. I'm like, even though they call themselves werewolves, I think an
they're
actual
not
werewolf needs the full moon. They're
right.
shapeshifters.
Well, it even says in the Twilight books that they're not werewolves; they're shapeshifters, and they could have picked any shape, but they picked wolves because of their uh, history, their tribe's stories.
Hmm.
But the werewolves in my story, they don't have to have the full moon to shift. but their strength like ebbs and flows with the cycle of the moon. So they're like at their strongest at a full moon and at their weakest at a new moon.
Mm.
So,
Well, I think what I was doing when they appear in my series is they still have like, how do I say this? Like some of like their human awareness.
mhm,
Like the change cycle is 5 nights.
mhm,
So the first night they have almost all of their human awareness. Second night a little less. The actual full moon, full on wolf people.
mhm.
And then it ebbs again with the next 2 nights.
See, I like that. I like all the different variations on it, and like it varies so much. Like, whether it's horror, it's going to be like one way with werewolves, but urban fantasy is different,
Mhm.
entirely different.
And I kind of got that because in Buffy they did 3 nights
Hmm.
with Oz. And I kind of like that how it kind of like drew it out a little bit,
Hmm.
especially at first when you're trying to figure out the whole thing and who the werewolf is, and then you have those extra nights, and
Hmm.
but it's not drawing it out so long that you have to wait a month at a time.
Yeah.
So it adds that suspense, like we have to figure this out soon,
Hmm.
otherwise we don't have a chance for another month.
Right.
Also, extra, this falls on Christmas. The actual full moon is Christmas Day. So then you throw in some family drama.
Yeah. Fun times.
But yeah, that was fun just outlining. I'm excited to write.
Yes.
So my deadline to finish this draft of book 1 is next Sunday.
Wow.
Like I gotta get on it.
How close are you?
I am. Let me look at my Scrivener file. I think I'm on like chapter 10, chapter 11.
Hmm.
But it's gotten longer. And obviously, I'm fleshing out the outline part, but I've actually had to split a couple chapters. So I went from 14 chapters to 16.
Let's see. I have how many chapters does my draft have?
Because there was one chapter where that was like a whole week of events going on. I'm like, that might be too much for one chapter. I'm gonna split it.
I have 50 chapters. Some of those are ones I'm still having to write because I went and added some stuff after I finished the draft because I was like, this needs some more. Especially because it's trying to balance 2 points of view, and it wasn't balanced. It was skewed a lot more towards Lily, so I had to give Zima some more scenes.
Yeah, I need to. I think once I finish this, I'm going to recruit a couple close friends to be like my alpha readers. I am a chronic underwriter, but I lean very heavily on dialogue.
Yes, I have the underwriting problem too.
So if I put the attempt into it, I could probably adapt it into a radio drama if I really wanted to. But
I added like 500 words to a chapter when I edited it, and my critique partner was like, "That's not how editing is supposed to work." And it's like, it is when you're an underwriter.
yes, I have to print off my manuscripts to edit them. And so a lot of my edits are add detail, They're a floating head, give them movement, show their location. What are they wearing?
Yep.
Show their expression in what they're doing. Don't just say she was pissed. Yeah, very dialogue heavy. I've always been like kind of leaning. That was always like my crutch was dialogue,
Mhm.
and then also learning that some of it was just like not. It's just like rainy day kind of like small talk.
Yeah.
Like I could probably get rid of that.
Well, I was looking at one of my chapters I have to edit recently, and I had that horrible novice mistake of, as you know. I'm like, okay, we got to fix this. We can't, as you know, no. Mm-mm.
But working on this one is fun because I'm like tweaking the rules of my magic system, and
Mhm.
because the main character like discovers that the women in her father's family are witches, and her mom is just like, nope, they're never gonna know. She tried to like distance herself from her mother-in-law as much as possible.
Mhm.
So when Tara decides to go to school in that town and
That
goes
sounds
to live
great.
with grandma the summer before school starts,
Mhm.
mm,
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
and then there's always a reason for her to call and be like, I heard something was going on, come home. Where did you hear it from? This guy on the internet. The guy on the internet that intentionally buys, like, takes advantage of gullible people for clickbait? No. Oh, how many times do I have to tell you? He's not serious. Yeah. He doesn't have a name. He's just called Conspiracy Theory Dude.
Perfect. I love it.
But one of the characters that like knows him actually says, yeah, he's done this since he could operate a camcorder, and he just does it for the clickbait. And exaggerates stories. And he's like, it's not my fault if people believe my.
Wow.
Even though there is weird stuff going on in the town, but she doesn't want her mom to know.
Well, of course.
Like, oh, don't take that guy seriously.
Werewolves
I think
aren't
I have a,
real, Mom.
there's one scene where her mom video calls her, and she's standing outside of an occult shop with a friend, just standing there talking. They had gone shopping, and she sees the home now. I'm going down there to pick you up. Mom, no, cut that. No, you're coming up. That's been fun to write too.
Yeah.
That's just something I could play with more as the series progresses, and when we get to that point where she finally tells her parents, "Hey, guess what I found out?" Told me. which is like, I mean, my parents were somewhat protective, but I'm like amplifying it to the most irrational levels, and it's been fun.
That does sound fun.
And then I had the hardest time outlining the third one because I was doing it from another character's point of view and trying to get into her backstory a little more.
Mhm.
And I was trying to get in her head when I've had the other character in my head for like 20 years because
Mhm.
it was one of my original AOL roleplay characters.
Mhm.
So she's been in my head since I was like 18. And to try and switch to somebody who's definitely a lot more extroverted than I am, it's been a change.
Yeah, that's a switch.
One who will like tell you to go screw yourself, not in tears, if she thinks you need to hear it. You can do that. Power I need. Nobody takes me seriously when I get mad because I just start crying. Oh, texted a friend about I got a second monitor. I want to start playing Sims and maybe streaming it on Twitch. And I
Mhm.
think mentioned that earlier. And so I texted a friend about it because she used to play Sims she would record it and then put the
Mhm.
video up on YouTube. But she has a little one that's a couple months younger than Anna, so we were actually due within a couple weeks of each other.
Oh wow.
So we would be calling each other, like comparing symptoms. She called me one day, does everything you eat taste like dirt? Everything I eat tastes like dirt. Like, no. That's when I was full enough to try and think that I could still write when I was
Oh man.
like, oh, I'm going to get all my writing done before the baby arrives. Oh, poor naive self I was.
Sweet summer child.
Growing a baby is exhausting.
It really is.
Any moms out there, if anyone's pregnant, if you think that you are going to get anything done, like if you want to try and do what you can, but eventually your body will say, no, we're going to go take a nap.
Right. Whether you want to or not.
Oh, you got that pile of dishes? No. Look how comfy your couch looks. And then when the baby arrives and they don't sleep,
Nope.
especially early on when you're constantly feeding them.
Right. And you have to remember that that's okay.
Yes.
Sometimes writing has to take a backseat to other priorities.
Yeah. There is no like deadline for things in your life. You don't have to do this by a certain age and do this by a
Mhm.
certain age. The timeline that I came up with, if everything goes the way I'm able to plan things, I will be 40 when I publish my first book. by the time I pay off debt, so we have the funds to self-publish,
Mhm.
and I'm able to have the time to set up a business, my daughter's in school for a couple of years,
Mhm.
I'll be 40. At least.
Yeah. Even with my first draft done, I'm still looking at, like, at minimum 2 years still before I can publish.
Because I'm expanding the drafts of the books that I've already outlined.
Mhm.
And I am diving headfirst into outlining as much of the series as I can before
Mhm.
circling back and getting the first one polished up.
Mhm. Mm.
But even then, I'm giving myself like 2 months per outline.
Right.
If I done last time, then I structure everything. That's why I have it's in my backpack. But I have a big binder that I printed off a whole bunch of calendars for like the next several years.
Mhm.
And I wrote everything that is writing wise in pencil. Like I have birthdays and stuff like that, like so I know when Anna's school age and when she'll start kindergarten and what grade she'll be this year. So then maybe I can balance my time better
Mhm.
as she's in school. Um, but yeah, I was going somewhere. Um, but yeah, because I know that things will change and there will be delays and maybe I'll get something done in 3 weeks instead of 2 months. So then
Mm.
I move everything up
Or something might get delayed. Yeah.
mhm,
You never know.
mhm. I got the couple of drafts the couple of outlines done faster than I had thought I would. Um, after I did this rewrite, and I was able to
Mhm.
move on better with the rest of the series. Um, so I did knock out those outlines a little bit faster, and then going back and expanding what I have, and then just diving in.
Mhm.
I could focus on just the writing and then yeah, taking this time to pay off debt, learn more about business.
Mhm. That's smart.
I was scared to watch Jenna's video this week when it was titled, "How much did I spend to self-publish?" I went, "Do I wanna know that right now?"
I still haven't watched that yet. I need to.
I know I need to too, but
It's scary.
that's one of the reasons this summer I am bound and determined to pay off enough of my credit card down to get, uh, a hotel for me, maybe my best friend, and it'll just be us, snacks, maybe some wine, and staying in the hotel room and writing.
Mhm.
She's always talked about she wants to get back into writing, but 4 kids, 3 of them currently being digitally schooled. Um, and then keeping the 2-year-old from terrorizing the house while those 3 are in school.
Mhm.
Her husband works from home, so the house has to be quiet for him. So, but but she's been saying that she's wanting to get her back into writing, so if we have a weekend and even if she just comes up with some fun stuff for
Mhm.
herself, you know. Oh, oh, he got her down. I was just checking. We have a camera in her room.
Oh.
She's like, "Oh, split out." And some of those, like, you're supposed to do that. Sometimes they don't always apply with kids. Like, I heard all through when we were getting ready to bring Anna home, she's supposed to be in a bassinet in your room for X amount of months. She would not sleep in our room. There was something about the room, I don't know, or the bassinet. It wasn't even that. We even tried to put the playpen in our room for her to sleep in. She would not sleep unless we were holding her. Finally, I moved her into the crib. She slept the whole night. Like, I didn't even wake up to feed her because I'm like, I am exhausted.
Mhm.
So that was, I think she was like 4 months by that point.
Mhm.
I was like 2 weeks of, I'm not getting any sleep. I'm not functioning. Forget it. She's going in the crib.
Yeah.
We still have to rock her a lot to get her to calm down to sleep. And
Mhm.
she's not a cry it out kid. She will
Mhm.
get sick to her stomach screaming. So I think once we move her to a bed, it'll be a little bit easier to sit by her and soothe her,
Mhm.
self-soothe a little bit better.
Mhm.
With my back, I can't lean over that crib.
Yeah. Well, I'm short, so leaning over the crib was always difficult.
Mm-hmm. Maybe at first when the mattress is higher up, but as they get taller, it goes down. And so, but I always joke that I should have like the most toned thighs and butt in the world. I spin in a rocking chair trying to get this child to sleep. It's not how that works. I've even tried to like think of how I'm focusing the muscles that I use when I'm rocking.
Mhm.
I'll try and put a little less strain on my knees too. And so I will try and like focus on my thighs, and by the end I'm burning by the time I lay her down. And then I stand up after sometimes being in that chair for an hour. Um, Although Joe will switch off with me if she's being particularly difficult. And I'll stand up and my joints are cracking and popping, and I'm like, oh my god, she's gonna wake up. Uh,
Yeah, kids and sleep are quite an adventure.
Kids and food are an adventure too.
Oh yeah. I got such a picky eater with Ava.
Anna has a pretty good appetite, but she's a nibbler. Like um like today, she will get those little like 8-ounce cans of SpaghettiOs,
Mhm.
and she'll eat like half of it. I've seen her eat a whole can, but a lot of times she'll eat half, 3/4. And then later on she's hungry and we'll give her like a piece of bread or, something like that. She loves snacking on bread. Today she stole my string cheese. I would break off pieces because we like that as a snack around here. And
Mhm.
I would just break off pieces to give to her. Today she was like, nope, chomp. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. She ate, I think, half of it and then threw it on the floor. I'm like,
Oh
no,
man.
mommy. Like, I'm done. Oh. but she likes, we'll have pancakes in the morning sometimes. We'll have scrambled eggs.
Mm-hmm.
She's a meat girl. Chicken, pork. She even likes steak.
That's good. Ava, like, the only meat she eats is chicken nuggets. It's crazy.
Okay, we've been doing more chatting than writing.
Yeah.
Been on here for a while, so I'm we're gonna close out. Thanks everybody who stuck around this whole time and listened to our gabbing. If you worked while you were listening, that was great too. My next live stream with a guest is tentatively going to be February 12th. Subject to change when I get my work schedule for February.
Yeah.
But I will have my friend Sarah Warner on. She is a podcaster. She has 2 shows. She has an audio drama called Girl in Space. It's a sci-fi drama. She's currently working on season 2. It's really good. And also the Right Now podcast she's been doing for a number of years. So, and she does a create along on Twitch and Facebook on Wednesdays and Fridays. Mm-hmm. I normally watch her on Fridays too, but I was doing this. So she said she'd pull her audience over for that to my channel, and we can. So tentatively, that is the 12th, and I think the 27th, which is a Saturday afternoon, I have at least the writer of a Power Rangers audio drama.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a fan drama, but it's set in more modern day. It's fantastic. I felt like I was 9 years old again. Especially the 2 guys that play Jason and Tommy. They sound so much like the original actors. You almost think you're hearing Austin St. John and Jason David Frank. And I'm just like, they do all the sound effects. Alpha runs around going, ay, 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 ay. And I emailed them. I asked him on a whim, just like shot in the dark. When I emailed him to say how much I love the show, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'd be glad. I'll even talk to some of the cast." I'm like, oh. So that is actually going to be the 27th, I think, at 4 p.m. because he's in England, so we got to adjust to the time change. Also, why we're doing it on a Saturday. So thank you for joining me. I had fun.
Thank you for having me.
So, and have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.